Good morning, guys. I am trying to come on here really quickly and do a really quick version of a feather, okay? So I'm going to have to talk fast. I have like 9 minutes of space left on my camera. It keeps cutting me off. So, very quickly, materials, scrapbook paper of your choice, something to cut your 20 gauge wire with, 20 gauge wire. I have silver and gold. Something to help you hold things when you embellish, if you choose. Mod Podge, doesn't matter what kind. A paintbrush, I just have some water in there to clean my brush. Some Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix to embellish with. I find that that's the best thing because it dries really quickly, but it does also allow for a little bit of movement. And it holds really good on your feather. Things to embellish with: this is a gold paint pen, some stickles, some glitter, whatever embellishments you have laying around. You know, I just have kind of old jewelry and charms and things, and some seed beads, things of that nature. So let's get to getting. Like I said, trying to hurry. So the first thing you do is pick out your scrapbook paper. You know, it's really big, so I just kind of fold it. If it's a 12 by 12 sheet, I just kind of fold it over, and then you've got a long sheet. And then you're going to cut whatever size you want. So let's just say this was, you know, 12 by 12, and that was folded over. So I'm going to cut about 2.5 inches here. You can cut whatever size you like. Sometimes I do 2 inches. Sometimes I do 1.5. Sometimes I do bigger than that, as you will see. So you kind of come out with this. And sometimes the way, depending on how you cut it, you come out like this. So you would obviously cut it that way, but it would be a bigger piece of paper. Alright, so I'm going to get my Mod Podge and stick my brush straight into the Mod Podge. You don't have to pour it out or anything. I just found this is easier, it's neater, there's less cleanup. And then I'm just putting on the Mod Podge on one side of the folded over paper. I want to make sure and get the edges at the top and the bottom, so when you're doing your feather it doesn't come apart on you. Don't put too much that it's going to take forever to dry. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to take a piece of wire. I do about 6 or 7 inches of wire. I just kind of eyeball it. Cut that and straighten it out a little bit. I kind of did that off camera so you didn't have to sit through that. You're going to take your wire and you're going to place it in between the two pieces of paper, 2 layers of paper, and fold that over. If you have 2 pieces of paper that you have cut in 2, you can just obviously lay it on top of each other. You don't have to do the fold over thing. Alright, so I'm just going to press down, form that bond with that Mod Podge, and I'm going to trace up the paper with my fingernails along that wire to give it some more definition. See right there? So you can see where the wire is. So now you're going to cut your feather shape out. You are going to go just like this. Normally I wait until my paper dries, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to do this. And then just kind of cut whatever shape that you like. I'm going to do this shape. So that's really steps 1 and 2. And then I'm going to flip the feather over to where it's pointing towards me and the wire is out there, because that's the way that the feathers go. You'll see what I mean. So you're not going to cut like this, because really the feathers don't come straight out. We're going to cut at an angle like this. Doesn't matter the width of your cuts or the depth of them. I like to go all the way to the wire. If you get it wide, your distance wide, you can go back in. And this wire is kind of over on the corner right here, so I'm going to stop right there and not do anything past that wire. And then I'm going to flip it again and do the same thing on the other side. So it's kind of wonky because the wires over there usually take more time than that, but since we're in a hurry, what you want to do is be careful at the top, because you don't want to go so far that you cut your little top off and it looks like a flat feather at the top. So I'm always careful to go in not so far on the feather up here, but you can see what it looks like here. Okay, if you want to, you can take it a step further and go in and put some definition in so you can see the cuts a little better. And I just kind of start at the tip of one of the pieces of paper or one of the little pieces of feather and do like that. See how you can see that one a little bit more? Okay, so that's steps 1, 2, and 3 of a feather. So I've got lots of feathers over here that I've done that are to that point already. See how they look? The busier I find the pattern, the less I like the feather. To me, that's not a busy pattern. I'll show you what I mean by busy. That one's not too busy. Okay, so 6, 7 minutes. Okay, all right. If I have time, I want to show you how I embellish one, but I want to show you some that are already embellished. So here's one that I've done. I just took a little piece of silk fabric and I fabric-tacked it on there, put a little gem on there, and I kind of boho-hoed this one up. So I twisted the remainder of the silk down the wire, and I've got a couple beads in between. So I started, I put some glue, some fabric-tack, I twisted, I put a bead, I twisted the fabric some more, and I put another bead. I mean, you could go as far as to wrap some more wire around there, but it gets a little wide at the bottom. So there's the music notes one. Here's kind of a plain one, and I just put a silk ribbon on there and some seed beads right here, and then twisted the fabric down here. There's also some stickles on there, if you can see that. Here's my crow feather. I did put a big kind of African looking bead here and another white one there. This one, this paper was really thick. The really thick paper with glitter on it. I went ahead and did one. It turned out beautifully. I just put a flower and some silk ribbon here. I love the way this one turned out. This is the boho circles with the foil, and I just put a little medallion here. I put some silk. It's not sari silk, it's just regular silk. And I tied it, and so that I had 2 ribbons hanging off the side of it. And then I went in and I cut. I just kind of snipped in so it kind of looked feathery. And then I've got some beads here. Not going to have time to do an embellishment, guys, but I did want to come and show you the quick and dirty version. I hope that helps. I hope that saved you some time. Y'all have a great day. Bye.